Hey, Danny Mike listeners, before we get to the episode today, I wanted to ask a favor. Our new network, the Last Podcast Network, is doing a survey which will in turn improve the content that you hear. It only takes a minute, it's all confidential, and it's just some questions about your listening habits. You can find the link in our description of this very episode.
The world was so big, and I was so small. Your voice was always the loudest of all.
Gentlemen, look at us. We're back on the road, back in the van.
Yep. It's a familiar feeling being on the road and in the van still. We're still friends, all of us. That's a testament to our friendship.
Oh, he said testament, so everybody drink or do whatever it is you do.
I'm not allowed to drink and drive.
Right.
Not currently.
No.
But I think you probably would be in Michigan, right?
I'm
said,
not sure.
They said screw you to the federal government. We'll keep our own laws.
We'll keep our road sodas.
Got some beautiful clouds out there today.
Yeah, looking good. Let's get this started. Welcome to the Adventures of Danny Mike. In front of me right here, Mr. Michael C. Morona.
It's stories from the road.
And to his left, Mr. Danny Tamborelli.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Oh, that's not good. I did I ever tell you guys this? Or my name's Jeremy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Did I ever tell you guys this? That when I dated my high school girlfriend for a couple years, 3 years, and I would go visit her, she worked at Dairy Queen, America's favorite ice cream spot.
What?
And I would get ice cream sundae on the house. And
the house, huh?
Yeah, I would drive back from where she was about 15 minutes. And there was only like 3 turns to my house, but I wanted to eat the ice cream, so I would just steer all the way home with my knees. So I'm not saying you should do that, but...
No, I don't do that.
You didn't buy anybody
I don't do
ice
that
cream
unless
yet.
I have
Yeah.
to. Like if I am eating a sandwich and drinking a soda or a seltzer at the same time.
Yeah. Seltzer. You don't do soda.
I do not drink soda.
Yeah,
Though
there
I
you
did
go.
have a little bit of Verner's.
Burners.
Some old Michigan ginger soda because it's delicious.
Of my exotic root beers as well.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
To get some cool exotic root beers at
That's what we do on the road. We find exotic root beers,
Jungle Gyms.
food,
Yep.
supermarkets, all sorts of stuff.
Right.
It's great.
Several times we've been on the road, fellas, doing these, notes from the road podcasts, and there have been signs that say, "Do not stop, prison area ahead."
I haven't seen those.
Do not stop for hitchhikers. Really, you haven't seen them?
No, I haven't seen those.
All right. Well, let's just keep our eyes out. For
I haven't
some.
really noticed them either, Jeremy. I guess you're
the
more
only one.
observant than
Literally just
we
passed
are.
one.
Maybe he's
but-
hypersensitive to
Well,
Midwestern.
I can't steer the car, talking to the pod,
And pick up
check
strangers.
for signs at the same time, man.
That's a good point. A couple of things, Mike. I wanted to ask you. There was a very controversial statement that you made. We were talking about the Chicago episode today, the Chicago show, the 90's night.
Love the Chicago show.
Oh man, how good was that?
Well,
Good people.
Yeah.
Good
I
venue.
didn't know if it was going to start off well because when we left Columbus and finished Waffle House, my body said, "Why did you do that?"
Oh man,
One,
I think that's
Why?
what began my
Why?
that's what began my week of consecutive clean plates, and I might have been crowned Waffle King that day.
Ooh,
sure you were crowned Waffle King that day.
Well, there was no competition.
It's not really. Yeah. Your eyes are bigger than your belly, and you certainly stuff it all into that belly. I don't know how you do it.
No,
but
that
you do.
that doesn't make sense.
No, it does.
No, because I finished everything, so they're
You
exactly
have not
the same
finished
size.
everything. That's not true.
I said that's what began my clean plate club.
Ooh, I don't know if that's accurate.
In Waffle House, it sure was.
It
We
was.
only went
I
to
had-
Waffle House once.
I had an all-star special with a waffle, city ham, a chocolate chip waffle, city ham, 2 eggs, and grits.
Now, why city ham and not country ham?
It knows its way around a bit better.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Gotcha.
Well, I didn't really pay attention to what you were eating because I was mad at the fact that you called playing fantasy football the same thing as playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I
Fantasy
couldn't really.
football is D&D for jocks, dude.
Yeah,
Face up to it.
I don't
doesn't
agree.
always taste good with your grits, but you got to take your medicine sometime.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's like finding out the Catholic Church was actually into boys this whole time. I'm sorry, dude.
Wow.
That's not,
I don't believe that at all. That's
What? They're both true.
Well, maybe to you.
What are you talking about?
I think it's different.
D&D is fantasy football for jocks. You're relying on
D&D is fantasy football
for jocks.
for jocks.
You're trying to get
Fantasy football is D&D for jocks. Already, I'm scaring you so bad with this argument that you can't even say it properly.
D&D
Yeah, is
for jocks is fantasy football.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. You have to explain it to me, and
Okay.
I will.
I can't just repeat myself in the
No,
wrong
I would
wrong
like to know
sequence
what
of
parts of it. No, just tell me what parts of it.
You're relying on someone else to generate random numbers for you.
20-sided cube, 20-sided die is what you're talking about, right?
Jeremy?
20-sided die, is that
Jeremy,
what you're
you're
talking
not
about?
being helpful, so I'll just point out the bird of prey circling overhead. It might be waiting for you.
Why am I not being helpful?
Wait, 20-sided die makes sense. That's D&D thing.
Yes, but in this case, the football players generate the random numbers for you. And you compare these random numbers against each other.
I don't think they're random,
in
though.
a series. How are they?
Well, they are random.
I don't think
I
they're
would
random,
agree that
though.
they're random because
Are they the same every week, Jeremy?
No, but it's
there's
like
statistics and all of that stuff
Who
that
generates?
gives you.
Who generates them?
It's all numbers.
professional
Yes.
football players
Oh, sorry.
playing their sport.
Humans.
Yes. I know the numbers are different every week, but
There you go. There's random numbers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm sure you'll get some supporters on this whole thing. Probably not as many as the supporters you have of trying to break into the Jersey City warehouse to get the season 3 DVDs. But you might have a few.
It's only because maybe some of our listeners haven't played fantasy football. I understand. It's not the easiest thing to do.
Right.
There's no dungeon master in fantasy football.
Of course there is. Who holds the money?
The owner, the league owner.
Interesting.
Commissioner.
The commissioner, and the commissioner has the power to pass judgment on the players involved.
Yes,
don't
he
they?
can take.
Not
He
at
can
all.
take. Well, yeah, they can.
They can impose penalties.
Yeah.
And
We don't. I'll
This,
put it that way.
very
Our
interesting.
league does not.
Right. No. It's how you play the game.
oh,
Like,
certainly. And I wouldn't say that all D&D players stick to one specific
Dungeon
way
Master?
of one specific way of playing the game. It's mostly as a nice fan explained in Columbus before we left to go to Chicago. It's all about everybody having time to get together on the weekends.
There you go. See, that's what it's all about. That's
So,
what it's all about.
You guys, and I do say guys because I assume in your particular fantasy football circle, it is all male, and I'm using the collective noun. You all.
In years past, it wasn't, but yes,
Sure.
it is now. Yes.
Due
Yes.
to disinterest, but
No, we just have a smaller league. We don't branch out, and we've invited you to this league for the record, and you just
he doesn't want to be a
you don't
part
want
of
I'm
it.
just not interested in
obviously.
playing D&D with jocks.
much like Instagram, he is boycotting it.
You don't have to. Their boycott connotates an active stance.
Well,
rather
I
than
feel like if you come up with this D&D thing, that's a pretty active stance.
Thinking
Yes.
while looking at clouds sitting in a car is not is not the most active thing I'll do today. But you had to pony up money to play in this D&D for Jocks League, and that's the monetization. That's maybe where you guys are.
That's where instead of us going to
Bird of prey.
the game shop and buying new D&D cards,
You're
we're
LARPing.
just putting. I'm not LARPing.
You're LARPing. I'm not LARPing.
I'm not
There's a
LARPing.
knee-jerk response. There's this Danny. I'm not going to wear another man's name on my back Tamborelli in the car driving right now.
No, I'm just saying I'm not LARPing. That's not fantasy football. Isn't LARPing?
How is it not LARPing?
Oh, you can't have it both ways. It can't be LARPing and D&D and any other thing you
Check
choose
it
to
out.
hate on.
Check it out. After you make your choices for your characters for that particular round, then you cheer them on.
Yeah, but you're not
You're
live
fucking
action
LARPing
role playing
You're
them.
LARPing.
No, that's
Yes, you
not
are.
role playing.
No,
It's
you
not
are.
cheering on. You just look at things and go, "Oh, he's got more points." I don't go through every game and watch the games because a person that is on my fantasy team is.
That's maybe not you. but a lot of people.
Maybe they dress up as their every, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Maybe that's what you're... I don't know. I'll stick with you on the D&D thing. I'll say that it's possible, but...
You came around. That's great,
but
Jeremy.
not with the LARPing. I think LARPing's something different.
Okay, so all I had to do was stake out a more extreme position, and you agreed with my original thesis.
I'm closer to agreeing with you. I'm not all the way there.
All right, I'll continue.
We'll have to get a graph,
Exactly, I'll
some
continue
pie
to
charts.
demonstrate.
Yeah.
You let the after you make your choices and choose your characters, and you watch the random numbers being generated. You then crow about the results online to each other.
Talk shit, aka talk shit.
Yeah. There's a bit of shit talking, and I would say that that's also a big part of D&D. When you talk about, you can in both cases you could talk about. And yes, these are male-friendly spaces. In both cases, you can talk about, graphically demolishing the other person's team in fantasy football or party in Dungeons and Dragons. You can, apply, what do you call it? Dehumanizing adjectives to
there's no
the opponent.
spells, unfortunately, in fantasy football.
There are spells, obviously. The bye week.
Now
Why was the
now
bye
you're
week a
losing me
spell?
again.
Yeah,
The bye week functions as a stop time spell.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna have to agree to.
It's a healing spell. None of your players get injured.
For the listener, this is what
week-
primed me to drive 5 hours from Columbus to Chicago.
Oh, it was longer than that.
Oh, about 6.
Because I cast a stop time spell and you didn't even notice.
Oh my god!
Mike, you might be onto something with the spells. If you
It's
As
a
someone,
healing
who,
spell.
as someone
The
who
bye
shit,
week- the
as
bye
someone
week
who
is a
shit
he-
talks so much on Twitter,
I'm
I would
listening.
think that you wouldn't mind doing fantasy football just so you could talk shit. Because there are also people on there that do it just for that and don't give a shit.
I would disagree with. You have to get off to the right.
I know.
I would disagree with your characterization of me as talking shit on Twitter. And and I don't do it. I would say that it's not in a competitive way. Otherwise, I would have nominated myself the Shit Talk King at some point. I'm not even King Verizon. Oh, actually, I was awarded the title of King Verizon from somebody else. I did not claim that for myself.
Does that come with like a glass award with a?
Look back in the tweets, buddy.
Okay. Something I did want to talk about in Chicago, was some of the food we ate. We ate at a taco place that Danny suggested, and
Big
it
Star, so delicious.
That is a brand we do not hate. Big
Yeah,
Star
very
is one of my
impressed.
favorite places in all of Chicago. Didn't make it to Estelle's, my favorite bar in Chicago, but you can't hit everything.
You can't drink food and you can't eat beer.
But we tried very hard at the Beat Kitchen, which is an awesome,
Shout
we
out
made
to
awesome
some beet
venue.
smoothies,
And Riot Fest was happening,
and people still showed up
and people
despite
still showed up.
Motorhead reforming just for that night to be in Chicago to counter program us. It was we made a deal, more of a dare with the devil, and the devil actually took us up on it.
There were several people that checked out of that to come to our show, so thank you for doing that.
Yeah, that was really cool of y'all.
Yes,
Appreciate that.
thanks very much.
Beat Kitchen, big shout out to them, as you said.
Yeah,
That
made
is
us
a
feel
very
welcome.
great
Thanks,
place.
Alex.
Yeah, Chicago, it just always brings it. You know what I mean? Every show I think we've ever had there, they're just come in numbers, and
This might be the only time I've been to Chicago and not touched a pizza once.
that's true.
Sorry, guys.
Jeremy had his dick hard for Lou Malnati's before we even got into the state, and I was with him, and then we didn't need it after we had those delicious tacos.
That's right.
I had to bring you to Big Star instead of Lou Malnati's. I'm very sorry that happened.
Well,
but I know that you can order their shit online, so maybe we'll have a Remember Chicago pizza party one day soon.
We don't have to.
No?
we tried that
Nah.
once, actually. What was I going to say? You know why we didn't have pizza, I think, was because we had pizza in Columbus that sat in the car and stunk it up, and then we decided that was
Hound
that.
Dogs was great. We
Yes,
already,
it was
we already
good,
covered this.
but it
We did, yes.
well, I don't know. We talked about how badly it stunk up the van.
It was awesome.
It was not a.
As a man who lives among garlic eaters, I was comfortable.
I was not comfortable with the waft of sausage and banana pepper smell that hit my face as soon as we got out of there.
Banana peppers.
I guess
It's gone, and that's and it's true. We had pizza the day before. Why do it again to ourselves?
Right.
You can. I mean,
I would have, but
you're talking to a cool down slice guy.
right.
My policy is typically not to have pizza for consecutive meals, and I've managed to stick to that for the most part in the last 10 years.
That's a good mantra.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not bad. What else do we do in Chicago, boys? I got a cast on my foot.
Yeah,
We made the best video of all time.
Yes,
Jeremy.
Mike took his DP skills to a whole new level.
And Dan was our stunt driver, and Jeremy was the willing subject.
That's right.
We made Jeremy take an Uber early in the morning because we didn't want to deal with taking him to the doctors, because that's the kind of friends we are.
Then Dan and I went and counted the inventory behind the police station in Elmhurst, Illinois.
Yep, we did. We counted every single T-shirt right in the parking lot
of the police station.
Yes, you did say it. I have nothing to add to it except repeat it.
It definitely happened.
But we'll put the video that Mike shot up of Danny pulling in.
Well, here's the best part. The best part is that throughout this, T-shirt evaluation, we were getting updates via text from Jeremy being like, getting a cast. So we're like, ooh, he's getting a real cast. So we thought that was funny.
So we counted every business card individually.
And then he said he was ready to come out. And as
we couldn't find him.
As we pull around, Mike puts the camera on, and we see that Jeremy not only has a cast,
he's got a wheel mount.
He's got a fucking scooter.
Scooter! And that's where my alter ego was born.
Right. Jeremy no more.
Scooter McBailin.
For the rest of the time, Scooter McBailin.
Or Scoots. Scoots, I believe,
I like
is the...
Scoots.
Yeah.
I like calling you Scoots.
It's kind of gross, but yeah, I'll go with it.
Yeah, he's got a bad case of the Scoots because he had pizza 2 days in a row.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen on tour on the 90s night with Danny and Mike. I did get some people to sign my cast in Chicago, which I thought was kind of cool. And I feel like, maybe it was helping sell merch that night. You know what I mean? A little sympathy purchases.
But by now, the white cast is so dirty
it's
and
getting
yellow.
It's
people are like, I don't know if I want to touch that.
Yeah, or let alone breathe near it. Jeremy, you could sell special cast signing Sharpies.
Ooh. Yeah, these didn't work well.
A real racket I remember from Japan is there's these deer that are protected in Nara, which is the twin city of Kyoto, and they just have vending machines around, like the old candy machines that you put a quarter in and turn the handle.
Yes.
Of deer food. Just all over the place. Yeah, they just have deer food vending machines all over. So it seems like kind of a racket that you would, take care of them, and don't make it our responsibility. The visiting public. Take care of your own deer.
A couple salt blocks, call it a day.
Oh yeah.
What else we got about Chicago, fellas? What else?
Well, there's always more food.
Yeah, we didn't take you. We didn't take you on the riverboat like we wanted to, but
see if I floated.
We did manage to get you to one of my other favorite places in Chicago. I like that I just get to take you to the places that I like, and you guys like them because that's that's pretty sweet.
We just haven't been to the Stinking Rose yet. That's the only.
But the Handlebar in Chicago is a vegetarian,
that might be
vegan joint.
Is that where I began my shrimp and grits odyssey?
That
I remember
might scare people, yeah, because they think vegan, vegetarian, maybe not up your alley. It is some of the best food I've ever eaten. Really incredibly delicious.
Very high marks from DT.
We are not getting considerations from any of these restaurants that we talked about.
I bought a $20 T-shirt because I liked it so much.
Did you pay tax on that T-shirt?
No, that was tax-free, baby.
Don't spread that around.
Cash money.
Wow.
Nice.
That's it.
Nice.
It was included. It was really. It was like $18.50 plus tax equals what it is. That's
So we call a nice save.
Tax included. I saw the sign that said it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you love those handwritten signs.
Well, we give a big shout out to the Beat Kitchen. You guys treated us so well. Thank you for that. And
to all the really cool fans who came up. We had some very exuberant fans there, and
good fans, some lawyers,
some tattoos. Right? Wasn't there a Toonie in the house?
Tattoos.
Shot him alert from Dan. Thanks for the shot him alert.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We had it on stage. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not my favorite drink in the world, but. When in Chicago, somebody is going to ask you for it. Tim said there are good
batches and bad batches.
Right.
Yeah, I guess there's no national brand of Malort, right?
Jepson's.
Jepson's?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Jepsons.
Do not shout out to Jepsons. They should not be encouraged. It's that type of thing. It's like when you have that, you're sort of like that character in your party that you're just like, oh, he really wanted to be a monk, huh? And we're here in the dungeon. What good is a monk? It's like that person who decided to.
Yeah.
It's like that person who decided to draft.
Yeah, we just passed another one of those signs, and you guys, I think, didn't catch it again.
It's like the person who decided to draft Johnny Manziel in the fantasy football this year.
Oh yeah,
you know who you are, and you should be ashamed.
All right,
and I rest my case.
Yeah, you have
fantasy football is D&D for jocks.
Okay, that's your final thought.
Bless you, people.
Okay. My final thought is, God bless Chicago and all its delicious foods.
Yes,
nice. Jeremy, were you convinced? It seems like you were leaning my way.
I think I've it's 60-40 now. It was 40-60. So yeah, I'm leaning. Again, I need a bar graphs and pie charts, and we need to break this down. But you're onto something, just not with the other things. So.
Scatter plots.
Yeah.
I'll give you a scatter plot.
Well, thank you so much for tuning into this Minisode.
That's a Polish delicacy.
What is it?
A scatter plot.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
potatoes?
the pan scrapings from Ebelskivers.
Oh, ooh. Maybe we'll hit one of those up in Greenpoint.
Thanks.
All right, give us a look on the interwebs at Danny and Mike on most things. This gentleman up front on my left here is at D Tamborelli or at Danny Tamborelli on the Instas. Michael C's on the Twitter at Michael C. Morona, and I'm at Remy Balin on most things and at Jeremy Balin on the Instagram. Give us a look on Patreon, patreon.com/Danny and Mike with
the and spelled out.
Also, if you're inclined, give us a shout on our voicemail, 347-470-8150. And of course, check out the Last Podcast Network. We love them, and we are, you should listen.
The story must be told.
The story must be told. All right, gents, let's get on down the road. We'll see you in the next city.
Oh, hey, look, there's another prison sign. Boy, I love America.
Bye. The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balin. This podcast is part of the Last Podcast Network, which can be found at lastpodcastnetwork.com. Make sure to check that out for a ton of great shows. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also, look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the N spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.